Welcome to Suicide Fantasy Football, live from the War Room, talking about quarterbacks, and now we're going to talk about people that you can get value for. You're going to be able to pick them later in the draft and where they're going to end up after the season's over. And I'll give you my two first. Really, I could have three, and they're all named Matts. I think Matt Ryan is going to end up being a top 5 quarterback. He's going to put up huge numbers. I didn't put him in my top 5, so I'm being a little bit hypocritical just because I think...
So you're playing it safe when we call you on the carpet, and then when you're later, you're looking for the credit.
Yeah, kind of. Okay. That way I've covered both ends.
Right, I got you.
But I think Matt Ryan is going to put up huge numbers this year. He's got Roddy White. He's got Julio Jones. He's still got an aging but great tight end in Tony Gonzalez. Turner coming out of the backfield. I just think he's going to put up big numbers and be a beast by the end of the season. I am also going with another Matt, and that is Matt Castle. Matt Castle's got some weapons. I like what they did in the offseason. I think McCluster is going to be bigger than he was last year. Dwayne Bowe isn't going to be as big as he was last year, but they brought in Steve Breston, who I think is going to pick up the slack. So also Hasselback I'd throw in there as my third Matt, just because you're going to be able to get him super late.
A Matt trick? Is that what you're saying right there?
Matt trick. That was actually better than Wacko for Flacco, Jim.
Nice.
So I'll give it to you. So they're my guys. Just go Matt, who's not Schaub, and you're getting value where you're picking them.
My value picks, I'm looking for guys who, say you're going wishbone with your team, you're looking your first 3 picks are your running backs, your 4th pick's the best wide receiver that's out there, you're waiting the 5th pick, top 5, 6, 7 guys are off the board, but you want somebody who's going to start every week and put up good numbers, possibly get you top 8, 9, 10 in points in fantasy football. My first guy is Donovan McNabb. I think he's got weapons in Minnesota. I think Peterson's going to keep defenses honest. He's never been in an offense where he didn't really have to be the guy, where he didn't have to make it happen. He can do a little bit with his feet. He still can run. He's not going to be the McNabb of 99 or 2000, but he's still going to run a little bit. He can get the goal line sneak touchdowns. I think he's going to produce pretty big in that defense. And I'm going with Fitzpatrick from Buffalo. He put up big numbers last year. They have the faith in him. They re-signed him. He's got some weapons. C.J. Spiller's going to have a big year coming out of the backfield. He knows a little bit more about how to play in the NFL, and I think he's going to produce some numbers. Steve Johnson catching bombs. As long as he doesn't blame God for him missing touchdown catches, I think he's going to be good.
I do not like either of your picks just for this reason, Jim. Good. McNabb. If you're going McNabb as the 8th or 9th quarterback, you're picking him way too early.
I didn't say he was 8th or 9th. I said he's later, and he's going to produce like the 8th or 9th guy.
I do not mind McNabb this year. I do, I don't have anything against, right, with the right matchups. If you're looking at him as not your every week guy, I like him. Fitzpatrick, I do. I'm intrigued by Fitzpatrick a little bit. Just
because they're going to suck, and he's going to have to bomb.
That's what I was going to say. He's going to be putting up big numbers, even though he might throw a couple of picks here and there. He's going to put up big numbers. So I don't hate your people. I just don't know if I'm looking at quarterbacks that late. I'm in trouble with the rest of my fantasy roster. So let's see what you think, Jack. Who are your guys that you can get some good value on this year?
Well, first, I gotta disagree with you about Matt Ryan. He's not. Okay. He doesn't put up big numbers. He gets, the good conversion rate with touchdowns, interceptions, but he only had 2 300-yard games last season, so don't expect him to get.
And you don't think
300-yard games.
You don't think Julio Jones instead of Michael Jenkins is such an impact that that's going to make a big difference?
No, rookies never make a huge impact in football.
Whose jersey you wearing?
I mean, I got Randy Moss's jersey, but, just kicking it old school.
I kind of remember him making a little bit of an impact as a rookie.
Yeah, that was 12 years ago.
Yeah. Terry Glenn, 16 or 17 years ago.
Right. You get one every year, but not all of them can be. I think A.J. Green's that rookie that could break out.
A.J. Green is awesome looking, and every coach on the Bengals loves him, so... all right, I don't mind someone disagreeing with me on that because I do think there's a possibility that Jack's right, even though I think he's going to be eating his words at the end of the season.
He's still quality, I won a lot of.
So who's your guys? Come on, man.
All right, I got Tony Romo. As hard as it is to say,
Romo.
He was out all last year. People forget about him. He's coming back, and he's always putting up consistent numbers.
And he's got good targets, so
yeah, he just knows how to play the game. As sad as it is to say. And my second guy is Ben Roethlisberger. He's very underrated right now. He's going to be playing all 16 games, so expect some good numbers from him and Mike Wallace. Ever since Mike Wallace has come to Pittsburgh, you've seen his 20-yard plus pass completions up. He's up to like 60 a year now. So expect some big numbers from Ben Roethlisberger.
I do agree with both your guys, so Although you disagree with me, I agree with you.
I don't agree with Ben Roethlisberger.
You
I don't
don't?
think the Steelers make the playoffs this year.
Last time they went to the Super Bowl, they didn't make the playoffs the
I think
next
they
year,
had the
so
down
that is
year.
possible. I don't think so.
I think
though.
Harrison backbiting on Roethlisberger, they can all smile and say it doesn't mean anything. But I think that's a cancer in there, and I think I expect Roethlisberger to have a down year this year.
All right, so that's our value. Tell us what you think. Jim at SuicideFantasySports.com, Eric at SuicideFantasySports.com, and Jack Steele keeping it corporate and then writing some really interesting, entertaining blogs for Suicide Fantasy Football.